Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Kooplings, and welcome back to the Nintendo Shack. I don't even know what episode we are. Have you guys noticed I stopped counting the episodes? Like, I stopped the numbers. Now that we don't have the master feed anymore, I was just like, just put the title out there. Just let iTunes handle that. We don't need to handle that. The title of tonight's show is Switch Pro is Imminent, according to some industry insiders, and that is why we have delayed our recording till tonight. This is... I'm going on vacation this weekend, and I will be out for a week. And your other two Shack co-hosts here will have the con in my absence. And I got to tell you guys, I have never been more confident and excited to hear Nintendo Shack without me than with you two. I know that you guys are absolutely going to kill it. We've got our Melon software, so I don't feel like... This is the first time where I've stepped away from the show that I didn't have just complete dread and anxiety that in the past when we've had other folks, Shaq got hosted on somebody else's channel once. I was like, what the hell?
Interesting.
Like, stuff happens. And I'm just really, really excited to hear you guys kind of without me.
Wow, you're not totally nervous?
No, not at all, actually. Not at all.
We're taking over. We're kicking you off the show.
Boom.
That's right. Donnie, no more. The original Shaq 3 is finally gone. It's down to 2. But no, I'm really excited. I know you guys are going to do a great job, and hopefully you guys have lots of announcements and news and stuff. Because let's tell you, this May 27th E3 thing I can get used to, because E3 started today, right? Isn't that how that happened?
Pretty much.
We got like 7 shows today. Like, I've been having a blast. I have been awful at work today. Just utterly useless.
Nice.
As I refresh, and even now, as we record at 9 p.m., we are still refreshing, hoping, praying that maybe Nintendo might release this. So I'm gonna skip the particulars here a little bit, and I at least want to talk about the Switch Pro stuff, because this is kind of why we delayed. So reports came out overnight from Bloomberg, corroborated by Eurogamer, by Gematsu, by IGN, by everybody else, that the Switch Pro is reportedly coming. So, according from the Bloomberg report, that's where I've taken this from, the upgraded Switch, which we've already discussed ad nauseum this year, will offer 4K support, a 7-inch OLED screen, and will sell for more than $300. This information comes from sources speaking anonymously to Bloomberg, and has since then been corroborated by Eurogame's own unnamed sources. The report said the cost of pricier components and rising labor costs in China, where the systems are being assembled, will be passed on to the consumer. The plan is to have this new Switch phase out the existing dock model. They will not sell 3 different SKUs. Manufacturers are reportedly to begin production in July, ship potentially in September and October. And Eurogamer adds that the pre-E3 unveiling of this system is in partnership to allow other developers to begin to start talking about the games that they are ready to be delivered to this new Switch this fall. All of this news came after Emily Rogers relayed a transmission to Reset Era saying, hey guys, that Switch, I love this word, this is one of my favorite words, is imminent. News on the Switch Pro is imminent. And put us all in DEFCON 4. I don't even know which one's the good one or the bad one, but I am beyond excited. Even if this doesn't happen tonight, just the hope that we don't have to wait until January. Like, we've known it's
very
coming.
Concrete.
Yeah, we've known it's coming.
Yeah.
Right? We've argued whether it could be at E3, not E3, like all the different stuff that they could do, like in September or whatnot. But the idea that it's coming and it's coming soon, I was thinking about, this is really where I kind of want to start this conversation. I was thinking about this early today when we were like, right when I first woke up and I saw the Bloomberg report and we're talking about Discord. I honestly don't think I've ever been more excited to buy a system than I am this system. And that includes...
You've been pretty excited for months and months, and I feel like that's growing.
That includes the Switch, which I was over the moon for. But here's the thing. Here's the difference. I didn't know what the Switch was before I got the Switch. And like the Switch Pro in my head, this fantasy is everything that I want my Switch to be. That like I've grown, I don't want to say tired of, but you know, it's showing its age. I think we've discussed this multiple times. So like knowing how much I love the Switch, how many things I want to play on my Switch. I said it earlier. I'm not sure if you saw it, Rebecca. If they can say like, hey, the 4K patch, whatever, is coming to Life is Strange on Switch, whatever, I'm all there. Like,
yeah,
I so badly want this to happen. I want it to be everything we want. I'm over the moon. I have been for the last 24 hours. What about you guys?
I mean, I almost wonder if they do this build up for a reason. They almost intentionally kind of put that out there. Not any of the finer details, but we know what the Switch is, and just having that build up to it would be creating so much more excitement than if they just randomly set it out of nowhere.
It's smart.
We're kind of doing the marketing for them by talking about it every week. And
I mean, we are definitely, it follows that direct formula, right? They're like, hey, there's a direct coming out next week, and it gets everybody talking about it. And then when Nintendo finally kind of caves to that urge, then it just kind of sets it over the top. I was thinking it felt eerily familiar to like the Mario peeking behind the curtain tweet. Like I could very much see Nintendo being like, hey, tune in tomorrow as we drop a trailer. Like that's all it could be. And here's the funny thing. That's all it would need to be. Just that sheer little acknowledgement of 140 characters would send the internet into a frenzy for 12 hours before the trailer drops.
Yep.
Yeah. I also think with this console, we know most of what it is, and Nintendo hasn't like spoken a word about it. I feel like this is the one console is like, we know what it is. We know, and now we know the price, really. We know it's more than 300, which they can't go really much more than that, honestly.
Well, I was going to ask you
Leaves
guys,
two options.
what do you think the price will end up being? They were saying more than 300.
I want to say the price means it'll be $399. $399 feels...
It has to be $399.
$399 feels high for Nintendo, though. Yeah. To me, it's just like that's a little high for them.
Especially if they're going to be phasing out the current model.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, too. They're going to have to really lean on the Switch Lite being as cheap as it is, along with this new price tag with this new console. So,
I'm sorry. I'm just checking into the chat. We got Ubicell here. Donnie, high hopes, low expectations. You don't know me that well. No, I don't think I will. Hey, Sean, glad to see you here in the chat. But yeah, $399 seems a lot for a Nintendo product in catering to their traditional user base. And I would say in the past, when we hear high prices, I kind of do this little thing, this little dance. It's like, well, you know, they'll start out high for the early adopters, and then a year or two, they'll drop the price. They never drop the price of the Switch.
No.
It never dropped.
Do you think they could do $349?
That's what I want to. That's where I feel like that's a really nice spot for it. $349. That doesn't that match the Wii U launch price?
Does it?
Does it? I don't even remember.
Possibly.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think there were $249 Wii U's. There were $299 Wii U's. I know that they had that extra one. I don't remember. But $399 just seems a little high.
It was $300 for Wii U.
The white one or the black one?
The white one.
See, so the $349 for the black one. That's what I was thinking. I think it was $349 for the black one with the 32 gigabyte and the digital deluxe promotion.
Got it.
And it was $299 for the white model that only had 8 gigabytes and nobody ever wanted to play ever.
That makes sense.
I feel for you if you have a white.
Did you say it was $349?
He said the white one was $299.
Yeah, the white.
And I know the black one was a step up.
Yeah. Got it.
So that feels the sweet spot, but I'm bracing for $399. Like I'm prepared. I've been saving. Everybody knows. I'm bracing for $399.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they're, it just is curious to me if they're phasing out the other model, that they're really confident that this one isn't a choice. It's an upgrade that they expect everybody to eventually someday switch to.
The silver lining is they still have the light. I bought a light today, of all things. But yeah, they have the light.
The blue one?
I got the blue one, the indigo one. I got it for $150.
That's really good.
$149, brand new in box is what I got it for.
Wow.
Because I was thinking I'd save till Pokemon. All right, so I'm just kind of vamping here before we kind of get the show on on the road. So I bought this, and I've tweeted about it this past week. This is amazing. These Joy-Cons are amazing. They're everything I want the Skyward Sword ones to be. I mean, they're perfect. This is exactly what I had in mind. This is incredible. Since I've gotten it, I noticed that Jack hasn't barely played it. It sits here on its stand. And I asked him, I was like, hey, you're not really playing the Switch. He's like, and he told me, he said, I'm scared that I might drop it or scratch it.
Aww.
Even though I bought cases and stuff for it, like he knows how I am. So I was like, okay, do you want a light then? Like, we'll just get you a light. Can I find a cheap light and get you playing again? And he said, yeah. And I was thinking of waiting until the fall because I'm pretty sure there'll be a Pokemon one, right? Mm-hmm. They'll do a Pokemon one.
I think that's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's still November. And I just went looking, and I found a guy that had them. He was listing them for $180, brand new. And I was like, hey, you sell me one for $150? He was like, yeah, I will. I was like, all right, we can get this
put
done.
Down that price.
Yeah, we can do this. We can do this today. So, I got that, and so hopefully, if this Switch Pro thing comes to fruition, I'll just be able to put these on the shelf and retire them forever.
And there you go.
Make it a nice shelf item.
I still think the $399, even though that could be pretty high for Nintendo, that's okay for us enthusiasts. We'll be there day one. Yeah. A lot of us will be there day one. And the people who are casually there, they already have a Switch. And they say phase out this console. They still have the Lite, though. And they're still going to support the Lite. So, Switch games are going to still be really playable on handheld. Maybe docked on a regular Switch won't be as pretty as it will be on a Switch Pro. But I think still the price point is
especially as current Switch models are getting older. They're going to be 5, next year.
It's crazy.
Eventually, people's Switches are going to break. They're going to get, fed up with the loading times and whatnot, and they're going to want to upgrade. So they have the choice of either going the cheap route with the Lite, or they can upgrade to the bigger, better new Switch.
Yep, and I do imagine that as you said, people have Switches, right? They're going to get new ones. Well, the people that don't, they're going to buy those old ones.
Yeah.
Right. People are going to put them on eBay, and you're going to start being able to get Switches with docks, for $175, $200. Like, is it possible you could get one as cheap as a Lite? Yeah. Because how many are out there now? What, 85 million was around like their last number? There's 85 million Switches out there. So yeah, probably 10 or 20 million of those are going to hit eBay in about 3 days, if rumors are to be believed.
Yeah.
But yeah, $399 still feels...
It's high.
It feels high for Nintendo.
I feel like I'm getting swept up in the hype with it all, but what are the odds that you think they're going to do a special edition Switch Pro for Breath of the Wild 2?
High.
Oh, yeah.
I think I need to wait for that.
I think that's smart. I think I'm going to buy another one. When that
yeah, I don't want to buy 2. I don't even want one. I don't even want one. And they do
I think I'm going to get 2 of them.
You bought the Dying Light 2 Collector's Edition, and you're doing this. Oh my gosh. Non-stop here.
I know who I am, Garrett.
I know you are too.
The difference is this isn't an everyday thing for me. This isn't an every year thing for me. This just happens to be the year. As I've been saying all year, Dying Light, right? Mario Golf. I'm still hopeful for Tunic, right? We've got all these things. We've got Life is Strange, new Switch Pro, Zelda games. Like, this is my year. So
I get you.
This is it for me. I got to do it. I've been waiting on the Dying Light game for forever.
Oh yeah, me too. Forever. Yeah. It's a great
but just to counter your proposal, Rebecca, stands reason that the limited edition whatever might be a Switch Lite.
It's possible. That would be rough.
That would be for Breath of the Wild 2.
Right. I'd rather you do that for whatever this Wind Waker Twilight Princess thing is that we're like, if they're really gonna do like a celebration of Zelda, do a little like gold light or something. That would be cool.
I think that makes more sense because I feel like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess aren't going to be pushing the console, by any means. So why not put that on the Lite? But if they're doing Breath of the Wild 2, we don't want to Lite. No, stop.
That's got to be on a home console.
Yeah.
Like Sean, have you guys seen Sean's?
Sean's great.
Like shrine behind him when we record. Like, come on.
Oh, Sean. I love it.
Come on, Sean. How many 3DSs are back there? Come on.
I need to grab one of them. Give me that Metroid one.
So it's that's 15:20 after. What do you think? You think we're safe?
I think we're safe.
Think we're safe?
Until
as
10.
As soon as we stop, they're going to tweet.
I still feel like at any moment again, I was not expecting like a trailer or mini direct or anything. I was literally expecting a tweet.
A tweet.
That's
Just a
like,
tweet
hey,
and a drop, right?
we've got
there.
a
Well, that's what
trailer
they-
coming out tomorrow at 10 in the morning.
Oh, you think so? Okay. Well, I went back to the Switch Lite, and it was a tweet and a link to their website with more details.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of imagined it to be something like that.
They've got me on multiple tweets today. Multiple tweets. I've seen that little red logo pop up, and I'm like,
yeah.
Well, they've been very chatty today, and I
Very
feel
chatty.
like when they're about to drop something big, they're silent for most of the day, and then they drop it. So the fact they were chatty, like tweeting every hour, made me a little bit nervous.
insider info here.
It's not insider info; it's paying attention.
Sleuthing. Just got the clues. I like it.
Inside
But yeah,
leaker over here.
I clicked on it, and then it was like, here's a garage. Damn it! So disregard. One of them was Mario Golf, and I was like, now is not the time,
They
Nintendo.
have to know. They have to know that the
They
entire internet is
totally
waiting.
know.
Do you remember a few years ago the same thing was happening for Nintendo Direct? It was like their January Direct that we knew was coming, and they knew that we were like begging for it. So they tweeted like the Chibi Robo on fire, like totally
Yes.
trolling us.
That was the best.
I'm like,
that was the
waiting.
best ever.
It was. I love when Nintendo was like that, and they kind of break that fourth wall and like kind of interact with us without interacting with us. To acknowledge our craziness, and
They love to play with our heart.
To this day, when I want
waiting.
to say like, let's get crazy or something, I still use that image. I go and look up Chibi Robo on fire. That image is iconic.
It really is.
So damn good. All right, well,
Yeah.
let's get the
Little
show
Chibi
back
Robo.
on track, I guess. And let's talk about what we're up to, what we've been playing. I haven't been playing anything. I've been playing a lot of stuff. Nothing. I haven't touched my Switch. I haven't turned it on. I turned it on to look at it, and then I set it on the shelf.
It's like, no, I'm good.
So let's just leave it nice and pretty. So,
Wait till Pro.
Rebecca, what have you been playing?
I briefly did boot up my Switch for a little bit this past week because I was getting a new Animal Crossing villager. One of my friends was getting rid of Shep, and I really wanted Shep, so I introduced Shep to my island. I will say one of the things that is kind of making me legitimately think about getting this Switch Pro upgrade is I am so sick of the slow loading times in these games, especially Animal Crossing. It was not this long in the beginning, but I feel like with all these updates and my island getting, more crowded and whatnot, like it just takes so long. And I feel like that's why I haven't been playing the game a lot, because I don't want to sit through like 2 or 3 minutes of these loading screens every single time I want to play.
Yep.
It was just very annoying. Like I felt like I didn't even want to go on the next day to kind of interact with my new villager because I didn't want to sit through all of that.
That's how
Is
I
it
felt
because
about
there's a lot-
Splatoon for like
Yeah.
3 years. It's just
Oh, really?
that load screen, like to get through all of that to get into the game is like, oh god.
And then talking to Isabel, all that useless dialogue. I don't care about all of that.
Is it because you have a lot of stuff in your village now? Is that why?
I mean, maybe, but I also think like just with every update, it's
I would hope not.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
It's just-
like you see
I've
It's like
seen this
actually
file.
just a turn on the
Anna's
game.
village, it's rough when you get
Wait,
a lot
does.
of
what's a
stuff on
save
screen.
file on? Like,
It's
isn't
a-
all that loaded into the things?
No, I mean like once you open it up into like just the sheer just amount of assets and stuff that's actually on
Some
your
islands,
village.
yeah, they
Then,
really
then we
try.
Crazy.
desperately need a Switch
It
Pro. Then, and
chugs.
like if it
Yeah.
if
No
it like
joke.
if it can't run little tables and stuff, it's like, we need some help
It's just
over
a
here.
long load time to start up the game. Like it's a black screen of like your little
Yeah.
island spinning, waiting.
Wow.
I like
Caching.
to go get a snack. Like it's just getting annoying.
Little wee thing. Actually, that does bring me to something I wanted to ask you about. If you allow me to interrupt you for a minute.
Yeah.
I saw somebody tweet earlier, and I retweeted them, that if Nintendo wants to charge us high price for a Switch Pro, they better bring the games. I couldn't have thought like the opposite. I was like, I'll buy it without any games. They don't have to show me one game. They could be like, Switch Pro, we're not even at E3 this year. Still buy it. Buy it absolutely. I buy it right now. I would buy it right now without even knowing it is. If they're like, Switch Pro, here's here's a page, you can pre-order it. Don't even tell me what it is. I'd still buy it.
Not me.
So that's
You're gonna
what
be
do you
so
guys think?
disappointed. Like
You're
they're gonna
gonna
come
be
out with these stats.
You're gonna buy
You'd be like,
I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
Chinese knockoff, and it's just, oh man.
I meant like officially. I don't mean like just anybody, but like if Nintendo was like, we're taking pre-orders for the Switch Pro, we'll tell you about it in a week. I'd buy it today. Like I would buy it right now, because even what we don't know, notwithstanding, what we do know was enough.
I still want to see it. I still want to see
OLED?
it. I know. I still want to see the form factor.
DLSS? Like just it.
What
yes,
if those
all
things
of it.
aren't true though? What if they're like not as good as the rumors say they are?
Well,
we're taking a chance on it.
What if it looks massive like party computer handhelds that you see?
Like a Game Gear. It's just
yes. Here's your freaking Duke handheld.
It's a Wii.
Guys, what if
it's a Wii tablet.
What if the rumored console is the N64 Classic?
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I'm at a fever pitch. So I am going on vacation. I don't leave until Sunday, so I feel a little safe here. That hopefully, here's the other thing. I wasn't expecting pre-orders to open today if they announced it anyway. I actually wasn't expecting pre-orders to open before the end of E3. Anyway, I was expecting them to be like, here's the system. We're going to announce it. Pre-orders open up like the week after E3. Like I expected they'd still do all their games and everything, and pre-orders would open later. That was that's what I was, if I had to guess this morning.
Have they really stopped retailers from taking pre-orders though? I feel like they want to jump on it. Like Best Buy and GameStop, they would put up like a page saying like pre-order.
They can't, but typically these console manufacturers, like during the Xbox and the PlayStation 5s, there was a lot of that going, where they were like, if you go early, we will significantly reduce your allotment. Because you want to do it somewhat controlled, especially if it's going to be somewhat limited. Like if it's going to be limited, like if they only have, let's say like 5 million worldwide units, you can't just let folks just start taking orders, like, because you'll run out too fast. So you got to have some control over it. So that was if I had to make a guess this morning, that would have been my guess, that we get a trailer and pre-orders would open later. So I don't feel terrible that I'm going away, but here's the deal, guys. While I am on vacation, I'll check it on Discord, like usually in the morning. It's part of my routine. I wake up, I roll over, I rub my eyes, grab my phone, say hi to Dev, So if this doesn't go live by the time I go on vacation, if it does go live when I'm there, I'm going to leave you guys my cell phone number, and I need you to like call me.
Of course.
Like somebody has to, like you can't just tag me because I won't be paying attention. I'm on the beach and stuff. I need somebody to go out of their way. I need somebody to like bring something of mine, put up the bat signal, because if I miss this, while all of you have them, I'm going to burn this podcast down. I'll be so dead.
We all got a Switch Pro except for Donnie.
That would be the worst.
Hi, Donnie.
We'll trade PlayStation 5 for Switch Pro. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah.
That's okay. I played a couple more retro games. You remember I was on that kick last summer? I'm kind of getting back on the kick where I'm trying some more retro games. I tried Wizards and Warriors for this for the NES. It is one of Rare's first games. Do you know it? Have you heard of it?
That's cool. Never heard of it.
I've heard of it.
David Wise composed the soundtrack, and I really liked it because unlike most NES games, there is no punishment for dying. You have unlimited lives, unlimited continues, and if you die, it leaves you right back where you started. So you're just kind of going around and then collecting things and finding where to go, and just like platformer. It was not too hard because it wasn't very punishing. So that was kind of like a fun little one-stream game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it when you find something, like when you go back and you kind of discover. That's always fun.
Especially NES games, like I feel like I don't like a whole lot of them because they're so punishing. I don't like having to restart the entire game or go back 6 different levels. It was fun. What was even more fun was the next game that I tried for the Super Nintendo. This is one that I've been wanting to play for a long time. Evo Search for Eden. Have you ever heard of this game before?
We have not heard of this.
It is like, and I would definitely call this, I feel like the word hidden gem gets thrown around for a lot of different games, but I would definitely call this a hidden gem. I had a lot of fun with this game. I want to keep playing it. It's basically like evolution. Like you start off as a fish in the ocean in like 500 million BC or whatever, and you have to eat the fish that are smaller than you. And like as you gain more points, you can evolve like to have like a better jaw, you can have a better tail, better fins, and so you're kind of building yourself up and up and up, and eventually you get like good enough that you can crawl onto land, and then you like evolve into a amphibian. So like you get legs and you get lungs and stuff, and you fight bosses. And it actually, okay, it sounds silly, but it's a lot of fun, and it actually has some story element to it. Like I started crying because of how like it was really good. I want to keep playing this game. It's
great,
so good. But apparently the original carts are super duper expensive now because there weren't too many of this game. Like I guess it wasn't super popular. Yeah, really good music. It was so cool.
I'm sure the Forest Minish Army can find their hands upon a cartridge.
I mean, I was emulating it. I don't need to have the cartridge, but
yeah, she needs a cartridge, guys.
No.
Right now.
Deploy.
I want to keep playing it though. Apparently you can evolve all the way up. Like you can become a mammal. Then like there's different branches. Like you can choose like, do you want to become a man? Like
that's insane.
I gotta look this up now.
It's not like obviously real scientific evolution. Like you can devolve yourself. Like if you decide, okay, like this tail isn't all that great, like you can devolve it and stuff.
What you're describing sounds like Spore.
It's people were comparing it to Spore. I'm not familiar with Spore, but apparently people were saying that it is a lot like Spore.
I was watching the beginning of your stream, and it really looked like Maneater to me, devolved, because it's just you just eating other fish and
the ones that are smaller than you can take on the ones that are bigger than you, but you might not win until you evolve a little bit bigger. You can upgrade your body and get a bigger body size if you want to, or like maybe too big of a body makes you move slower. Maybe you need to be faster, so you evolve that instead. It's kind of like a little bit of strategy, a little bit of. It's fun.
I'm watching dinosaurs eat each other.
Yeah. So yeah, eventually you get to the dinosaur age. It goes forward in time.
That is kind of cool.
It is.
I really love that you have
concept.
a deep love for games like this. I
love.
I can't go back this far, right?
Really?
Me neither.
I feel like these games, a lot of them, the thing that I love about Super Nintendo games is a lot of them still hold up really well today, and they're just like such a simple, straightforward concept.
Yeah, their art style's real good.
The art style.
They're usually built around like one mechanic, so if you can like kind of learn like the one mechanic, like you can kind of like just play the game. You know, they're not as complex. Like, I think once you hit 3D space, things do, like we take it for granted, but once you hit 3D space, things do get complex in terms of navigation, combat, storytelling,
mechanics,
fetch quests. Like when you're in a 2D space, you can only go, in so many directions, left, right, up, down.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. They definitely hold up. I don't know. I never like, I love the ones that I like, but I could count those on like two hands. Like I would never just go obscurity, but I would for like Nintendo 64. I've played a bunch of like obscure 64 shooters that are awful, but I play them. I think it's like, I don't know. I think it's the controller. But I'll play them, just to check them out, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I like doing. And like maybe I'll never finish Wizards and Warriors. Who knows? Maybe I will. Like some of them I just like to go back to and kind of see like what they are. And this is one that I want to finish. It's it really struck something with me. Like I liked it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
$500.
That's like there's a lot of Super Nintendo games that are even more than that. I tried to look up a copy of Earthbound. Man, what I would give to have a real copy of Earthbound. Those are like $800.
Really? Maybe that's why I don't go back. That also might be part of it.
But a lot, and like the thing is, that's why I really want Nintendo Switch Online to be something bigger and better, because it is unrealistic. Like people shouldn't have to emulate these games if they want to play it or pay $500 for a cart. Like that's ridiculous.
100%.
So there should be some kind of modern way to play these gems of games.
Especially the Nintendo published ones or the Nintendo owned ones. Like especially those. There's no excuse for those. Like, third party stuff that's lost to the ether. I've always wondered, I would love for somebody to tell me, like, maybe I'll ask Jeff or something. I would love for, like, some of these companies that have just gone away, right? They're just dead. They're like dead IPs, dead licenses and all that.
Yeah.
What would happen if a company just put them up? Just take the game and put it up.
There's nobody
it's like,
to sue.
Yeah, it's like, who's going to sue me? Like, who are you to tell me that I can't? I would love somebody just to try it.
I'm sure there's somebody who still has the rights to the title. You don't think?
I'd still try it.
See if they notice.
Yeah, I'd argue in court. Like, I would love to see a lawyer. I would love it, right? The lawyer's like, we made this thing relevant. They weren't even doing anything. We made it valuable again. That's, but
yeah, I have fun doing that.
That's good. Sounds good. What do you, Garrett?
I've been just crazy busy this past week. Yeah. I had jury duty and I got selected on a case. So
it's a murder case.
I can't speak
of
it.
To say.
Can you wink?
No,
I can't nod my head.
Scratch your head.
But I think it's gonna be. I think it would be a cool PSVG DLC episode or something because
that'd be fun.
It's an interesting case.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been that and just working. Other than that, I'm just trying to catch up with work while I do this.
I love jury duty.
You do?
I do.
I mean, it's fine.
I only had it once. I had to go down into the city and wait all day. They never even
They didn't select you. I only got selected once. It was before I went to college, but I have a undergrad for criminal justice, and one of my classes was like the traditional court system, and like you learn about all of the formalities and all the processions and the order of everything, and like once I had that appreciation for it, when I did jury duty, I actually found it like way more entertaining. It was like watching a show or something. I was like, oh, he's about to do the thing, and this is what that means, you know. But like, yeah, when I first got selected, I remember I hated it when I was a teenager. I got selected when I was like 19. I was like,
that's
this
crazy.
Is awful. Nobody wants to do it. But I didn't get picked for that one. I just went down there, and then but yeah, after college, I actually was on a case. It was a really dumb case, but I was on a case, and it was fun. It was fun. Also, my wife is addicted to the true crime stuff that you see on Netflix and all that stuff. And then like when you see what other juries are capable of or not capable of, like it scares me a lot. A lot. How they'll convict people on like nothing or vice versa. It's like, so yeah, I always have that in my head when I'm watching those shows with her. I'm like, oh, that jury's going to get him.
Well, this one's definitely not a boring case for sure.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I'm not going to go into it.
So wait, you might have to do that for a long time?
This, they say, is going to be for a week, like about a week.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
We've had cases, because I work right across the street from the Fulton County Courthouse, which is downtown Atlanta, like downtown Atlanta. We've had several cases where they like evacuate the building early. Yeah, they're like, look, the judge is going to read his verdict at 4. Everybody get the hell out of here at 3.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's about to go down. So I think that's another part of it. We had one of them that was like, he was, I don't want to, I don't remember, so I don't want to say because I don't want to like inadvertently offend somebody, but it was like some nationality mafia. It wasn't Italian. It was some other one. That's the thing that I remember about it, is it wasn't Italian, but it was a mafia boss. And I was like, that's still a thing? We have those?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like he was like, he went to jail for like 30 years and they were real concerned. They shut
that's
the
crazy.
streets down for like 4 blocks and everything. It was a big deal. That's another part of it. I think it's, it seems a little more intriguing, like where I work. It's got a little more pop to it than, like if you're just like kind of out in the burbs. It's like somebody stole somebody's land,
Pretty much. But during my spare time in jury duty, I've been actually reading more of the Ask a Wada book. About like 3/4 of the way through. Dude, he's such a knowledgeable guy.
I'm not bringing that with me on vacation.
Just about business in general and like success and everything. He has so much wisdom. It's kind of crazy to read from him. So
definitely had a strong vision. And that's what we're seeing Nintendo, like he put Nintendo on this path. This was always his vision. Yeah. Right? This isn't Miyamoto. It's not Kimishima or anything like that. This was Iwata. He was putting them on this path years before the Switch came out.
Mm-hmm.
So
he talked quite a bit of the Wii and the DS days in that book. And I was like, well, that definitely made you guys successful. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Other than that, yeah, I'm still playing Chrono Trigger. I feel like I'm almost done.
You gotta plug your show, like officially for our listeners.
So yeah. I do a RPG podcast with Ryan Turford over at Yumi and Capri Patreon. What?
It's just a part of my shtick that I'm just gonna make fun of the show. I just want to adopt it like an RP, like a show specifically focused on talking about nothing but endless RPGs.
Do you see how much feedback we're getting on
No,
Discord
I
and
see that
Twitter?
a lot
One
of
of the
people
most
liked it.
popular game genres ever.
Again, I'm going to adopt the shtick. I'm going to be the guy. I might be
will
the only
cheer
guy,
you on, Garrett.
but I'm going to be the
Thank
guy.
you. Thank you. I think the next episode we're recording is E3 predictions. So got to get those predictions going on with RPGs. Still playing Chrono Trigger. I just finished the major Reptile boss, I think. The big reptile dinosaur with the alien. I feel like this game, I don't know about you, Rebecca, but is this game easy? I'm not too sure about it. Or am I just like...
You are
Okay.
I mean, I feel like because you're very experienced with RPGs, like you probably grind a decent amount between like going to the next place and kind of things like that. And I don't know,
I
there's
do
like some
backtrack a little bit.
bosses. Yeah. Like I feel like if you're doing that, you're gonna stay at like a good enough level. Like you are experienced enough in RPGs where you're probably like making sure you are always going to the shops and getting like the best equipment that you can have. Like you know to do that. There are some bosses that are tricky, like they're later bosses that maybe you've encountered some of them, maybe some are still coming up that are legitimately hard to figure out how to beat them.
Oh, there's one
so
boss.
that can take some time.
Yeah, one boss I figured out, like, okay, you shock him, but you can't shock him too much because he overloads with shock. It's like, okay, I kind of get that kind of... It's really cool how they do their bosses because each of them have their own little weaknesses and strengths.
Yeah, it's not just like each one has more HP, like they actually have different ways to defeat them.
Yeah, and even the monsters themselves. I'm like, that's kind of really cool. You gotta have to experiment on your different move sets and everything. It's a very, very solid RPG, and I think it's like when I'm thinking about it, in the other RPGs I played, like Persona and others, I was like, okay, Persona games was inspired by this, 100,000% all the time.
You can see the roots of your favorite games.
Exactly. Like it's like, okay, all the RPGs I'm thinking of and their creativity, it's like, I mean, I'm seeing that in Chrono Trigger, so that's super cool.
To see where I think you are.
I just beat the Reptile boss. I think
in 65 million BC.
Yeah.
You are maybe about like 2/3 of the way through.
Oh really? Okay, cool. No, I'm glad. I'm glad to play more of Chrono Trigger for sure. I was trying to play more of it today, but again, the Retroid Pocket 2, you got to be very careful with it, especially with the RetroArch app, because you cannot have the game like kind of on and the emulator on and turn and like press the button to go to sleep mode. Because the Retroid Pocket won't actually go to sleep. It will still keep kind of running the clock. It'll just turn off the LED screen and that's it, or the IPS screen and that's it. So you got to be very careful with the RetroArch app. But I heard other than the retro, like if you play other emulators, it sleeps just normal. So there's a lot of tinkering with that device. So hopefully I'll play a little bit more tomorrow, more this weekend. I'll finish it out and. I think the next classic RPG I really need to play is Final Fantasy VII because I really want to play Final Fantasy VII Integrate when that drops this summer.
Isn't it like just a remastered version, or is that like a new version?
Integrate?
Yeah.
Integrate is like it'll be the PS5 version, and it's the DLC.
Oh, okay. I got
you. So I haven't played
like
Final Fantasy.
There isn't
yes,
it like
it's
the
an
next
expansion.
part to it. It's just the next part, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Yuffie DLC with it, so it adds more characters.
Was this DLC a part of the original Final Fantasy VII game on PlayStation? So it's new.
Oh no. So Final Fantasy VII Remake, like it's not an exact copy.
I hate these things.
It's a reimagining. It's not.
It's a reimagining.
Okay, so I thought the whole point was that they were gonna remake the whole thing, like, and that's why we're waiting on part 2 and stuff.
Yeah. So the characters that they're adding in now were in the game. They were in the Final Fantasy VII PlayStation game. It's just they didn't put it in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay. So they're adding this as DLC. It's 2 extra characters, I think, and then they're playable or whatever. But I haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4. I'll play on PS5 when it's all nice and shiny, new graphics and everything. So, also, there's other games on my Switch that I'm on the backlog for. I really want to get to Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny. That comes out next month, in a month. The demo is out, so I'm going to play that, give my impressions on it next week. I also got this from the library unexpectedly because I just never had it, but I got Paper Mario.
Ooh, fun game.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
Origami King. I don't plan to finish it, as I heard with Donnie's impressions, but I'll certainly give it.
You're the RPG guy.
Yeah,
right? This might be right down your alley. Like, I'm impressed that I got as far as I did, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I'm proud of it. If people make fun of me, I'm like, this could have ended much faster.
I feel like it's probably too much RPG for Donnie, not enough RPG for Garrett.
I think that's about right.
It's like something I should play.
It's really pretty. Honestly, like if we were to ever rank games based on graphics on Switch, that's a contender. It's really pretty.
Okay.
I like the art style.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I'll
cool
definitely
art,
get into it. Yeah, very cool art. I'll definitely.
It's got Zelda vibes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I remember you saying that.
Real Zelda vibes, which is weird. I was playing it, and I was like, "Damn, this is a Zelda game." I've done this before. At times, definitely Zelda things. So it's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm. And there's another, like, a couple of indie games that I got on the Switch. I don't want to say them out right now before I really go through them and try them out. So, yeah,
do you have them early or?
No, I just wanted to grab them.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. I just haven't had the time to get to them yet.
I was going to ask you if it was Chris Tales. I was like, ooh, do tell.
Ooh, I really want that. But that's
come to
Game
Pass. Game Pass. Yeah, like you don't want it. You have it.
I'm done.
It's done. You have it.
Can't wait for that one.
I feel safe in saying that I've closed my Twitter browser. I think you can tell all three of us. For those of you watching, you can tell all three of us when we're not talking. I've noticed it and I definitely know I'm doing it. When we're not talking, you see us, we're doing this.
I'm looking down at my phone.
So I've closed my browser. I figured either the chat or you guys will let me know.
I don't know. I'm still holding out for 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
They like to do it on the hour.
They could do it. True. We still have hope. We can keep doing this all night, guys. I will do this all night.
Stay up, pull an all-nighter.
You think that's funny, and I have like that compulsivity to me. It's not. Too. But here's the thing. It's not like a Nintendo or a gaming thing. I think I told this story in my DLC or something. The amount of times that I can tell you that I've stayed up chasing rumors or intel or information for like dumb things that don't affect my life at all, like NBA trade rumors. Like, for sure, for like real. Like, I've been informed and stuff. I remember it was like 2007. I was in a forum where Brian Windhorst said that the Cavs were working on a trade, and it turned out to be like this ridiculous trade for like Wally Zerbiak and stuff. But like, it was LeBron, and we were in the playoffs. I stayed up all night trying to find information, like refreshing
in the deep realms of the internet.
I do. That definitely happens to me. So, but before I get into the rest of this news, I want to talk about my vacation a little bit more. So I'm going out to Florida. I'm going to the beach, taking the kids. This is a no video game vacation. I do this about once or twice a year, so we will not bring any video games. We will bring a couple board games just to entertain ourselves, but the whole point of the vacation is to kind of be insular with the family. Right, so we're not going to be talking to the friends. We're not going to be on the phones. Not be like external family members. It's like just us four.
Unless the Switch Pro is announced, then we get to call you.
We suck them back in.
Yeah. You'll get me for at least 20 minutes to like secure my pre-order. I will have you know that when this Emily Rogers news dropped, I put my gaming credit card in every site. Like I said, like every website. I don't care. Whoever gets up first gets my pre-order. Like it's a race. Go. I have no allegiances here. But yeah, so we're going to go away, and then that is the plan. So I won't be really around the Discord. Hopefully you won't see me too much on Twitter. And I do think it feels a little odd, like this early to E3. Obviously, when we booked this trip, we were under the impression there wasn't going to be an E3. So I was expecting that there wasn't going to be any news, because you guys know I normally take this time off for E3. Mm-hmm. So it's a little weird, but I still want to unplug and still like stay true to the fam. So you won't see me on Twitter. You won't see me on Discord as much. And yeah, if anything like crazy breaks, I'm happy that it seems like we got a lot of the pre-E3 news out of the way. Right? I'm sure somebody else will do something, but like a lot of the stuff that I was personally interested in, I think we got to hear about today. And if this system comes out today or tomorrow, then, like I'm good. Like I'll see you guys at E3 and we'll be good to go. So, but I look forward to your guys' show. I really do. I'll listen to it on my drive back from Florida. So I'll listen to it on Sunday.
Sounds good.
Do you guys have any cool plans for it? Is there any?
Honestly, no.
Damn it.
We're gonna
I'm
have
hyping-
a lot of
I'm hyping you guys up.
We don't get the week off.
You can take it if you want. Elaine wanted to take the week off, so we're taking.
We're not taking it off.
We're not
What are
taking
you talking
off.
about?
We're taking like so on the Xbox Empire. What I realized was like, so I'm gonna be gone next week, and then the week after we record on like Wednesday, and then Xbox goes on Sunday. So like we're gonna just take that week off too. So tomorrow will be the last Xbox Empire until E3. We'll just go live for the E3 show because it's like, why are we gonna record 2-3 days before E3? What's the point in that? I mean, nothing to talk about, right? So we'll try to make tomorrow's show a really fun one before we take an extended break. But I think this is the first time that I've taken a break that I'm like really excited to take it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm like really excited. Before it's like, oh, I
good.
don't miss anything. You know, and like I was like, no, I'm good. I need a break. Just
A healthy refresh. You always
yeah,
need that.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm interested in recharging. I'm very excited. Okay, so we've got some news. Let's get into it. The show's at 46 minutes. Yeah, we can do this. Pokemon dates have come out. November 19th, 2021, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl were released. There was already a pre-order up for a double pack on Amazon. I don't think that's surprising at all. Everybody could
Not
probably
at all.
guess that date. That's exactly where I'd put it. But this is surprising. Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? Arceus?
Arceus, yeah.
Arceus? I know I
Arceus.
always say that wrong. Coming out has been dated officially.
That's so
January
weird.
28th, 2022. When this first hit retail, I was like, it's a placeholder. It's like, sure. And then it's like, no, here's Nintendo with the tweet. I'm like, oh no.
They did
no.
say early 2022.
They did.
Weren't
They're
lying.
holding true to
Definitely
their
not lying.
stance. I'm officially like somewhat concerned.
Yeah, me too.
It's not going to be a fantastic game. I truly believe that they are, but let's be real. It is a mainline Pokemon game.
I want that clipped so badly.
Please. That was amazing.
That was a great drop.
It's a mainline Pokemon game. It's
Yeah.
going to sell. It's
Oh,
going to make them a
that was-
lot,
yeah,
a
that
lot
was
of money.
never-
True.
I truly believe that this is a project where they're experimenting. They're doing something that Game Freak doesn't really do, and that is going out of their comfort zone. Because they did a little bit of that, I think, with the wild area in Sword and Shield, and now they're saying, okay, like this seems to be sticking. Let's go a step further with it, and then it will hopefully make their next Legends project better than this.
Yeah, that's what I'm holding out to. Is that this game is kind of like a preliminary like jump out with this 3D open world type of game. And when they put the data out, and I was just like, oh guys, this seems like just let's test the waters. And for sure, our Pokemon fans are gonna buy it for $60,
Mm-hmm.
and that's already a success.
Yeah,
like
that's already
like,
most than most games.
Yeah, so
Yeah. That's just how valuable the IP is. I have some concerns. I've got some hope. Hopefully what they showed us was really earlier footage than when
Yeah.
they showed it to us. Like that would be my hope right now. Maybe what
That
they showed
has
us
been
was a year
true.
old when they showed it to us, right? Like maybe
Honestly,
it was old.
that's been true. I think
Yeah.
they have shown us games, their own games that do change in how they look by the time it releases.
Yep.
I think it's a little bit odd that like we don't know more about it yet, but I mean
Yeah.
it's still it's May. Like I'm sure that they'll showcase it throughout the year. I think it kind of will depend on if they want to keep going, because this Legends makes me think that they might do more of these types of things where like maybe next they'll do Pokemon Legends, whatever other legendary and
it's a
region
new
they want to
franchise.
showcase. Yeah.
My other
I-
concern would be is that maybe this is just another middling spin-off attempt. Like maybe because when we saw
They're
the
not
trailer,
advertising it as a spin-off though.
they
This
evoked
isn't-
it, right? They evoked the open world Breath of the Wild comparisons. Like they totally went for it. So, and then we said it then, if you go for that, then you get held to those expectations. My other concern would be is if this is early, like maybe this game isn't nearly as big as we think it is. Maybe it's not nearly as robust as we think it is. Doesn't mean it's going to be bad, right? It could just be, an open world game, but on a smaller scale, at least in content wise.
Did you play any of the DLC for Sword and Shield?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm kind of imagining the world to be like that, maybe a little bit bigger,
That might make
a
sense.
little bit more, like open in that regard.
Yeah.
We're not going to be climbing everywhere like in Breath of the Wild. It's not going to be very like vertical.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not
I
going to
think
be
it's
like
just
a.
gonna be-
So when I think giant open world game, like I have a lot of things that come to mind, but specifically like content, like the amount of content that you have, how much you're going to be playing this game, like all the different stuff. I think that's what was my takeaway during the trailer. It's like, okay, we saw the trailer, we saw him walk around, but my big thing was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know, like what's out there? What's out there?
They need to show more of that, because I think the focus really is going to be the collecting and researching. Like, you're the first one in this region. You're going to be documenting these species for the first time. You're collecting them. You're not there is battling, but that's not the focus.
Right.
I hope they really lean on the lore type of aspect of this game, just since it's just ancient times, and they can really connect with like the region which region are they going for again? Sinnoh region.
Sinnoh.
Okay.
Which is Diamond and Pearl, which we're getting this year.
Yeah.
And they can easily connect with one another with that type of stuff. So
question, do you think we'll get the new generation of Pokemon at the end of 2020? So Generation 9 games. Because that would normally be the year that we would get it.
That's true.
If this Legends didn't exist.
2022?
2022.
Because this year is our Diamond and Pearl remakes, then next year would be the new generation.
I actually think the Let's Go series will be next.
You think so?
This. I think it will be a Let's Go.
Do you think they'll do Johto?
Yeah, it would be Johto. I
and
think that's
then
what's
we'll
gonna
get the
happen.
next one.
Yeah.
So do you think this Legends is like a project that maybe they're having one of their teams work on because they know that Generation 9 isn't going to be ready next year?
This is the main Game Freak studio that's making the Arceus one, so I'm thinking
it is. They
outsource.
They kind of
Diamond
have two
Pearl.
teams.
Yeah.
So they have the team that worked on Ultra Sun and Moon, which was their younger development team, and then their senior development team that worked on Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield.
Yeah. So what I think is that they're gonna probably work together on Gen 9 after the not after Let's Go, but co-developed during that time until they can set out release date in 2023.
I would hope the next one is a big leap, especially if they've got the new Pro to work with. Like maybe they can take advantage of it. So I think the idea of pushing it off for a year and doing a Let's Go to give them a little bit more time makes sense. Yeah.
Exciting stuff for Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for Diamond and Pearl, guys.
Dude,
like
Jack is through the moon for this Arceus game.
Yeah.
He asks me about it like every other week.
I haven't been excited for a Pokemon game since the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire remake, for sure. I'll be playing tons of hours in this game.
Sean posted something on Twitter. Somebody
NBC
find out.
podcast is
recording? NBC is coming in hot soon. Please understand. That's 32 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. So here we are, 10 o'clock. We'll still be here. Before I leave the Pokemon, they're updating Pokemon Home. You can sort your Pokemon caught by the date that you catch them. Why are my dogs going nuts at 10 o'clock at night? That's concerning. Can you hear that?
Yep, I can hear that.
Oh, Lord. Well, this will be fun. Hang on, let me mark this so I can get this out of the episode when we release it. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the podcast. They'll be fine.
Someone's breaking into the home, but who cares? We got to preserve the integrity of the podcast sound.
Can you imagine? Live on air home burglary? I'd be stuff of legends. Like Donahue, man, he stayed in that chair the whole time. Sonic Colors is getting remastered. It's coming out September 7th. I was a little concerned all day, but I did see right before we went on air a tweet that I saw pre-orders went up. It's $40, which is nice because I was a little concerned it was going to be a full $60. It came out with a lot of other announcements. They announced Sonic Origins, where they're going to take all of their older games and put them in a little collection and put them out. They didn't announce a price or a date for that, but it's coming to all consoles. Sonic Colors is coming to next-gen stuff in 4K. This was one of those ones that I was like, well, if they're going to announce a Switch Pro, like I kind of would love to hear that. Because I played Sonic Colors on Wii, and I just have a outstanding memory of it being positive. I remember at the time thinking it was like my favorite Sonic game. I'm not the world's biggest Sonic fan. So I'm actually kind of excited for this one, and we'll get it as a budget release, probably on Black Friday. I won't get it day one, but I'll probably get it on Black Friday, because I do remember in my mind, it was one of the first Sonic games that did the 2D, 3D blend. I know that's a thing now. I don't know if they did that on GameCube, because I don't even remember playing Sonic games on GameCube.
I played Sonic Heroes on GameCube, and that was just all 3D.
And I remember playing the 3D Sonic on Dreamcast. But Sonic Colors is like in my head. That's like one of the first games that did that 3D to 2D to 3D type of thing, which at the time I thought was really cool. So I'm interested in buying it again.
Let me tell you, Sonic, like when I heard the news and everything and it's blowing up on Twitter, I was actually very surprised how many people love Sonic. And I'm just hearing so much things about
There
Sonic.
was a lot of hype for Sonic.
I was like, really, guys? Are you excited for Sonic? Really? And I was like, okay, good for you guys. Like, have your fun and buy that game. But I was just very surprised how much noise that produced on Twitter.
The Sonic Kingdom comes out.
I was expecting them to announce a brand new big Sonic game.
Yeah.
That was like
but it was such a tease at the end.
What was it? I didn't watch the whole thing. I just caught
They pulled the one last thing at the very end, and they showed like 10 seconds of Sonic running and said 2022.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a bummer then. I was expecting full thing. Monster Hunter had a stream where they announced that Crimson Valstrax and Apex Xenogra.
Yeah.
Apex monsters are coming to regular quests. There will be a new ending. All this is like free updates that are out now.
Yeah.
Like they dropped last night.
Yep.
So they're out now. And then they also gave another trailer for the excellent looking Monster Hunter Stories 2. That's coming on July 9th, if you remember. And then they outlined their roadmap for free DLC that's coming to everything. Like they're doing July, June, July, August updates every month. You're getting free Monster Hunter stuff for both of these games if you buy into either one of them. And I'm gonna buy Monster Hunter Stories at launch, and I don't know why, but I'm going to because I'm gonna try to juggle all the games.
Because it looks like a great game.
It does. It looks so damn good. I don't want to not see it, and I don't want to play it in October when everybody's done with it either. Like that's a part of it too. So I'm gonna get it and try to play it and Skyward Sword at the same time. Yeah. But very, very excited for Stories. I see several folks in the chat are saying they've never played Colors. That was my impression when I've talked about Sonic Colors over the years, is that not a lot of people played it because it wasn't a Wii exclusive.
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like at the time it was Wii exclusive. Maybe it came to other consoles, but I don't remember.
But yeah, that sounds like an exclusive to me because I was mainly a 360 person. Back in the day,
and I had a 360, and I don't think I ever saw it come to 360.
I had Sonic Unleashed, and that was a terrible game. I remember that being not so
Sonic
good.
Colors is good. It's not great, but it's a good Sonic game.
Got it.
It's not as good as a Mario game. Let's be clear.
Let's be clear about that.
The whole Sonic is as good as Mario thing. Oof, that's crazy.
So people have opinions that are...
But it is a good Sonic video game.
Yeah.
Axiom Verge is delayed to Q3. I actually didn't even know this. Like, I was 3 days late on this. I saw the news story on Twitter and I clicked on it, and it's like it came out on Sunday or something. I was like, oh, wow, that came and went. But Thomas Happ did say that he can't share too many details, but they've delayed the game so that they can, make the game better, and so they won't have to crunch so much and have his personal time. This is interesting, and I only want to bring this up for discussion. The IGN post said, to make up for this, they've put the documentary up that was previously put in the thing. It was like as a make nice. And I was wondering, like, especially Rebecca, since you write these news stories and stuff for Twinfinite, is like the best way of putting that?
What do you mean?
I don't think it matters. I'm not trying to put IGN on blast. Really, I'm not. That's not the point of this. I remember reading the article on IGN, and they said as a make nice, like to make up for this delay, the developer is putting this up for you. And it's like, we don't really need them to make nice. Like, you can just
their words. Like
that I don't know. Yeah, that it didn't say that. It just said that. And maybe it is just him. He's like, hey, while you're waiting, here's this thing. I would rather something like that. I just thought it was an interesting way of putting it, because it was like, we don't need to make nice. You could just delay the game. But I did watch. I watched about.
Because I feel like it's and I'm not like defending that use of words or anything, but because it's a small studio, isn't it just him that makes it? I don't even know if he has a team.
He's the one person that makes that game.
One person, and there is, I think a really dedicated following towards Axiom Verge. It's not like a huge following, but I feel like the people who like Axiom Verge are like really into Axiom Verge.
Yeah, it's like Hollow Knight up there.
So yeah, I feel like maybe he probably just didn't want to disappoint them, and just wanted to like give them some kind of food while they're waiting.
That's how I took it. That's exactly how I took it, and I think that's exactly what it was, how it's intended. I just didn't like the wording, and it just stuck out to me, and I just wanted to have it said on the podcast to our listeners, like, if a developer delays a game, like, they don't have to make it up to you or me or any of us. Like, just delay the game. It's okay.
Delay the
we
game.
support you, Thomas Happ, with or without the documentary.
Make the game great, and it's good.
I did watch about half the documentary. It's really cool if you're into Axiom Verge.
Yeah. I still gotta play it.
I wasn't as into it. I thought for years that I would love it after Ori and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as like, so I don't even think I'll be buying the new one.
Heard it's very much
Super
like Metroid.
It is.
Yeah.
It is Super
yeah,
Metroid.
It's like, yeah.
It
Which
is
I
very
like.
much like Super Metroid. So,
Yeah.
Masahiro Sakurai has hinted in the latest Famitsu column that he might be considering early retirement. He did say that he's planning to end his popular Famitsu column this year at the latest, after the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Last Two Fighters. He went on to say that, quote, everything must come to an end at some point. He then added that he feels it's okay to work as hard as I can right now, while I can, even if it makes me very busy. I feel like we read a story like this every year. Is that just me? I feel like I've been counting the years on this news story for what feels like a decade.
Was Sakurai
always
hinting
say
a return?
that.
Yeah,
he
Sakurai
said
does this a
it.
lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't mean to dismiss it. Like, maybe he actually was going to do it this time. It's just a little Brett Favrean at this point. It's like, okay,
Is it?
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
And then at
Sure.
E3, when they're like, fighters past 3.
I wish you the very best in all of your endeavors. Also, it's culturally, like, a lot of the Japanese folks don't like retire like the same way as Americans do, like in the West here.
Right.
A lot of times they like retire, but like they're still working for the company. They just kind of like get like another office
They kind of
somewhere.
just walk around, though, right?
Yeah, they just kind of like there for a long time, like 10, 20 years. And at this point, like, I don't want to undermine his accomplishments. Obviously, he's an amazing creator. He's very good at what he does, the best. But like, he doesn't make the game on his own, right? Like, I think that Smash will continue, and
Smash will be
yeah,
fine.
just celebrate Sakurai. But there's nobody. I saw in the post I was reading the comments, and there were people like, "No, it'll be fine." He's earned a break. If he wants a break,
I think it'll be a
he's earned a
hard
break.
baby for him to give to somebody else.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
When you were that tied to something like that, 100%.
I think that's his hesitation.
Yeah, it's got to
baby.
be. It's got anytime anybody is that involved in something, like to just give it up. That's a tough ask, because you always got to think like, what's it going to be like the next announcement, right? The next announcement, the Super Smash, whatever, without you. You're like,
It's gonna be a
Maybe
while,
I
I
can
think.
go for a couple more years. Like, that's probably, yeah.
I mean, I've said for you guys for a long time, I'm good with just Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I think
like-
that's gonna be the Switch Ultimate or Smash Ultimate game.
I don't
That's
see
like the next thing.
Yeah, the only thing we've talked about it. The only thing that I
Just
think you
making
can
it better
do
for each console. Like,
is to
just-
do single player or something. But like the Switch, like the Smash Brothers game, like I've said it in the past, I think it'd be a great addition if they just added it to like Switch Online, and they're like, here's Smash Brothers, like maybe just the multiplayer battle mode, like just online multiplayer. It's like, here it is. Just you got to be a member. That way you're at least getting money for it every year from everybody.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you ever do, like, a single player or another mode or something, like, sell them as add-ons, DLCs, like, throw them on.
And then just every time there's a new console, just make it a little prettier for each console.
Yeah. So I've seen people, like, go back to, 14
Optimize it.
characters or 16 characters, and I understand, like, the purity of that. Am I ever going to want that to be the case? Absolutely not.
Never.
That's
I
like,
want
I
all
never
the
wanna-
characters on there.
Here's 8
The
Smash
thing is,
characters.
who
Like,
would you
sounds
put?
awful.
Like, there's too many important, vital characters now that you wouldn't be able to cut.
Okay,
Yeah.
we just need to put more Fire Emblem characters on there. Get rid of
Stop
the
it.
rest of them. It will be just
Fire Emblem Smash
Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Stop
Smash
it.
Ultimate. Yeah.
Sean Capri says
I'm here
Donnie
for
is
it.
the Sakurai.
Oh, I love that, Sean. That's
That's a good
amazing.
one. That's a good one.
He's very good at that marketing.
He is.
Garrett,
Yes.
tell me about Dragon Quest.
Oh, I mean, I watched the stream last night. It was pretty good. The Dragon Quest 35th anniversary stream, all in Japanese. But we got some really cool announcements for worldwide releases. The first one, probably not as exciting, but it's kind of cool. Dragon Quest 12 has been announced. Flames of Fate. It's just a logo right now, and they hinted at like player choice will be very essential in this game, kind of like Fire Emblem Three Houses, where you'll make a choice and it's going to change the whole game for you for the rest. And I'm like, well, not surprising for RPGs in general. We do see that a lot. So we'll see how they come up with it. I don't know if it's going to be on Switch either. We think it's going to be on Switch, but they didn't say. They didn't say for Dragon Quest 12.
I can't imagine that it's not. I can't imagine a
Yeah.
reality where it's not on Switch.
Me too. Me too.
There's nothing that Dragon Quest does that can't be ran on a Switch.
That's
and
true.
with the Switch's install base, both here and in Japan, it makes very little financial sense to skip Switch.
I understand, but here, level with me. If you do, if you look at the logo, it looks very like modern.
Of course.
Like, no, I mean like not the cartoon Dragon Quest logo you normally see all the
I
time.
see.
It's like we are gonna go apocalyptic type of logo, kind of like Bayonetta 3 or
Oh
like
yeah. I saw that. It's like fire, like
yeah,
like,
it's a fire-like thing.
Do you think that's
or
reading a
Monster
lot
Hunter.
into a logo though? Like I still expect it to
I
run
mean-
and look like a dress. Not look. Maybe not look. Look's the wrong word.
Mhm.
I expect what's the right word? The design and the components of a
I
Dragon
hope.
Quest game to be the same, even if the tone is darker.
I agree with you on that. It's just when I see JRPGs now, they're rising up graphically and,
Oh, yeah.
and very intensely. Like you see the Tales of Arise series, you see
Oh, yeah.
Scarlet Nexus. I'm glad there's a
Dude,
Switch
did you
Pro
play that
coming out.
demo?
Oh yes, I did.
Dude,
It's like I'm
Rebecca
I'm very
Scarlet
high.
Nexus is. I was like hesitant when I pre-ordered it. I was like, I don't know, maybe I played the demo and I was like, sign me up for 50 hours of this.
Wait,
I'm
why did
very
you say
hyped.
my name? What is this something I would like?
I don't know, just play it because it's awesome.
What?
I was just speaking to the person that you haven't played it. You should because I
It's
was
so good.
the demo. I was so impressed with the demo. I was like, this is amazing. I can't wait
Yeah.
to play this game.
Yeah, me too.
It's a
Very
shame it's
much
not
like
on
Astral
Switch.
Chain. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the next Dragon Quest game they announced, which I think is the coolest one, Dragon Quest 3, the HD 2D remake. So
It'd
they're
have been
remaking.
hilarious if they called it Dragon Quest 3 2D HD.
It was messing with my head, man. But it's in the art style of like a 3D style. So it's like Octopath Traveler. It's like the Project Triangle strategy type of art style, and it looks super dope.
It
like
looks
that.
nice. It looks really good.
I would love to play every old RPG like this. It's like, okay, give me more shadows, give me more details, and give me this cool little pixel artistic type of style in a 3D setting. I'm all down for this. So, yeah.
I am too. Yeah, I was with you guys when the announcements were happening. I thought it looked. This is a really great way of bringing back an old game. We've been saying this since we saw Octopath Traveler, I think. You know, and I wish more people would do something like this. I don't know why they don't. Maybe it's expensive. I don't know. I've heard
I'm
for a
not
long
sure
time
either.
that the sprite work stuff is expensive these days
Everything's
because
expensive.
like most model engines and stuff aren't built for this.
They say Dragon Quest 3 is their best bet for this art style right now, and they hinted as like we want to do Dragon Quest 1 and 2 like this later on. And I'm like, okay, so they're gonna try to pull their fans to like buy this.
This is the
game
only way,
or
to
something
be
like
honest
that.
with you, this is the only way to like interest me. Like Dragon
Yeah.
Quest 12, whenever it comes out, you know, like I may have a passing interest to it. The whole adult vibes or stuff, like when I heard that, I was thinking not in game design, mind you, but in look, I was thinking like Shin Megami Tensei or something.
Right.
You know,
Right.
same kind of game, apocalyptic dark. But this 2D remake is at least something. Even if I don't play the whole thing, it's kind of like something I just wouldn't mind having.
Exactly.
You know, it's like a cool thing. It's like I just want to add it to the library. Maybe I give it a try. And I think I would play a lot of these RPGs that you guys love from the Super Nintendo era and stuff if they did this. And I would
Yes.
like them to see them go.
Chrono
I would like to
Trigger.
hear more. I would love to
Chrono
hear
Trigger
them
would be
do
great.
like some of the mobile JRPG ports have like, you know, like boost to like speed up the gameplay or like change it and accessibility stuff, quality of life improvements. Throw all of that stuff at me and then let me play the game like that. And I'd be more interested in giving them a try.
I would much rather have the game Secret of Mana have gotten a remake art style like this than like
Yeah.
the weird sort of 2D, 3D-ish like
Yeah,
model-ish
that's
type
true.
thing that
Yep.
I got.
Yep. I
So-
mean, you guys are the APG. You just said Chrono Trigger. You guys are the RPG fans. What would be some
I
other
saw
options
people
that you would
saying
like to see
Super
this?
Mario RPG would look nice in it.
Ooh,
I've heard
very
Final
good one.
Fantasy 6 and 5. Yeah, any of the classic RPGs that have that pixel art style. Like, just try to throw it in this kind of 2D, 3D setting. See if it works.
Will go to my grave hoping, I know it will never happen, I've said this on the podcast before, hoping for another Pokemon or Zelda in a sprite art style again. I miss that. There's
That'd
something
be fun.
so charming about
Yes.
Zelda in that style.
Yeah. No, and that would be great. Yeah, I liked it too. Okay, well that reaches the end of the news block. There's nothing on the Switch Pro on the Twitters, I presume.
No.
We didn't ping for any questions. I did ask the chat. The only thing we got back was G-Man, who says E3 ideas.
I have lots of... Wait, can we talk about the Skyward Sword amiibo? Did we ever get a chance to talk about how people are mad about that? Did we talk about that already?
We talked about it online. I said, "Oh, people are not going to like this." I had no idea that it was going to go as far as it did. Like I could have guessed, but
pretty
Rebecca, what you were
outrageous.
sharing with us and what like it was a mess.
First of all,
such a
people are
mess.
calling this fast travel. It's not fast travel. I would not describe this as fast travel because you can't go to any bird statue in the game that you want to go to. That to me would be fast travel. This is like in Ocarina of Time, that one like Farore's Wind or whatever that helps you transport out of the dungeon. It's kind of like that. It's like a one-way type transport
Yeah, it's
that will
like
take you back to the same spot. Like
the travel
Uhu
medallion.
in Twilight Princess. Yeah, like the travel medallion. It's like a one-way type, one-time deal thing. It is... I wouldn't even call this quality of life. Like, it's a mild convenience that, like, I'm not even sure if I'll ever use, to be honest with you. It's a little bit helpful, but it is not game-changing. It is so blown out of proportion. Like, I feel like people just want to find something to be mad about because they don't like Skyward Sword.
I haven't played Skyward Sword in many a year, but my memory of it, I do remember, a lot of time being consumed going back and forth and back and forth. So the idea that I can just hop up from where I am right into the sky, to me, does sound like a quality of life improvement.
The thing is, Donnie, you're remembering a lot of back and forth because that's the mechanics of the game. The story is you're revisiting. So, like, the mechanics of the game for people who haven't played it is, like, your kind of hub world is the sky. And then for each of, like, your missions, you're going down to, like, let's say Barren Woods. You're doing that mission. And then you're coming back up, you're doing the Eldon mission, you go back up, you do the Lanayru mission, you come back up. There's times where you're going to have to go back there, but there's probably not too many times that you need to go back into the sky and then go back down and do something else just because you needed to stock up. Like, and if you did need to do that, there's plenty of bird statues to do that.
Yeah,
like,
okay, that makes sense.
You're not going to be, like, at a hardship trying to find something to do that. So this is a mild convenience, I think, at best. It is not fast travel. It's hardly quality of life. And I feel like if this was something, like, there was no function at all, people would be mad that there's no function at all. They just want to complain because they don't like Skyward Sword. I
am very happy that Nintendo decided to give Amiibo value. I've always wanted Amiibo to have value, so I'm not going to complain at all. Even if it was awesome quality of life, if it was ultimate fast travel, I still wouldn't care. It's like, if you want it, then buy it. I mean, there is a part of me that always kind of has that capitalistic side. That said, I do understand. I will call it frustration. I understand what they're trying to get at. I do think there's a better way of doing this. I think you could just make this quality, like this capability, for any Zelda amiibo. Like, why do you have to lock it to the new one? I know why you're doing it. You're doing it to make money, and that I can understand. But I can also understand fans' appreciation for maybe wanting more. Because how many Zelda amiibo do we have? Not like Zelda franchise, like specifically Zelda.
Princess Zelda?
Yeah. We've got a bunch, right? 8 or 9 of them?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
No, there's not 8 or 9 Princess Zelda amiibo. Are you kidding me? There's like 4.
We've got 2 like Toon Zeldas, right? And then we
have Toon Zelda from Wind Waker. We have the do you count the Smash Bros. Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay,
Smash
so
Bros.
that's 2. Breath of the Wild Zelda.
That it? We'll split the difference. It's 5 or 6.
Chic.
Chic. So either way, right? There was multiple options. You could have at least included 2 or 3 other ones and been like, if you have any Zelda amiibo, you could do this. Or if you have this other Zelda amiibo, something that people already have. Because I also think the whole collection, the whole Zelda thing, the whole amiibo craze is a part of collecting it. So not only do you make your new amiibo valuable by offering it as a part of the game, but make other people's amiibos valuable too. I think that's a perfectly fine ask for Nintendo. I am not outraged by Nintendo. I think outrage is strong.
Yeah.
It's a
People were
real strong.
outraged.
They are.
Outraged,
I didn't
yeah.
believe you, and I saw on Twitter. It's like, oh,
The other thing is the price,
people are
because
mad.
it's not $15, it's
No, it's-
$25.
and-
But it is one of the bigger, like it has
it's a
that
bigger
bigger, more
amiibo.
detail. There's 2 figures in the one platform. Come on, like the Guardian amiibo was that price.
yeah, it's like the Guardian amiibo. We've had a couple amiibo like this.
The Monster Hunter is $25 as well.
Plus the amiibo thing, like they see how they sell, and they have to do re-releases and stuff like that. So like I'm not surprised. I'm just not surprised, I guess is the point. I'm not condoning it, but I'm not surprised at all. I'm definitely not
What I'm
outraged by it.
saying is, for the people who are mad, you are not going to have a lesser experience by not having this amiibo than with somebody who is using it. You are
No.
not going to have a lesser experience.
I saw Mark Medina, he was talking about speed runs. And I was joking with Sean, you may need a speed run, like an amiibo speed run and a non-amiibo speed run.
Yeah,
I
there's
wonder
going to
if
be
They'll
there's
go
gonna be
that
categories
crazy.
for that. There is for Breath of the Wild.
And like when he was tweeting it like kind of like in a way, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is going to happen. I saw that tweet and I was like, that's amazing. That's a great idea. It's like, that's perfect.
both
Nintendo
ways.
should do more stuff like, because for the longest time when I was buying amiibo, the reason why I went like counterfeit amiibo and I got the amiibo chips and stuff, for the longest time we were not getting any value out of them unless you were going to build shelves and display them on your wall, right? Like in-game value of them, right? And I have the same shelves exactly. Outside of that, there was no in-game value for them. So for the majority of amiibo, if you were somebody that wanted to have them all, you weren't getting a whole lot in-game from them, especially the Smash series. So I'm really excited that they decided to give us something for it. I wish we'd get more.
This
my favorite
amiibo
things
looks
about
really
Breath of the
good,
Wild.
too.
I love the amiibo. Like amiibo in Breath of the Wild was a great inclusion. Like I felt like I was getting something for having owned amiibo when I was playing Breath of the Wild.
Well, people weren't mad about that, but they're mad about this.
So let me ask you, Rebecca, before this amiibo was announced, did anyone, I doubt it, did anyone complain about fast traveling, going from one place to another? It's just when this thing just
The only
came
thing
out.
I've heard is maybe having fast travel between the birds themselves, but that's not what this is.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know.
remember the trailer. It just throws you back up into the sky, right? Just like randomly, you're just like flying again.
So it brings you back up into the sky, and then like when you're in the sky or in Skyloft, you can go back,
go
like if
right
you
back
scan
to
it
where
again,
you
it's-
were.
Yeah.
But like you can't pick in the sky where you go.
No,
It just throws you up there.
it might take you. I'm assume it takes you right in front of Skyloft.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
assume.
It's you're right. You're right in saying it's not that big of a deal. I do think I'm going to appreciate being able to do that, and I actually imagine myself playing it with the amiibo nearby.
You might.
Like I imagine I will sit down with Skyward Sword and I will put that amiibo next to me.
The way I see it, it's kind of like it's making the game just easier. Like you're able, like
Yeah.
let's say you're in a dungeon and like, oh my god, you have no potions. You're about to go fight the boss. You have nothing. Like you're about to die. Like you can just go back and stock up on potions and come right back. Like it's kind of it's more of a cheat code, I think, than a quality of life feature. And I think that's what people don't realize.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Sounds good.
That was my intended use for it. You just run back.
Coming from like not a huge Zelda fan, I'm still gonna probably just get the game and not the amiibo. That's
You
just
will not have a bad
I
experience.
think that'll be what most people do.
Yeah.
That's
and
the
that's
thing.
all,
is
yeah.
Most people aren't going to get the amiibo anyway.
Yeah.
And the most people and the people who are getting the amiibo are the ones complaining about it, but they're gonna get the amiibo anyway.
Like
You're
if
gonna
this
get
game
it
does over
anyway.
6 million copies sold, which I think would be good for it.
Yeah, it would.
I don't think they'll sell maybe 2 million amiibo. I feel like that's being generous.
Yeah.
How many? I don't even have like a basis for how many amiibo normally sell.
I'm really just kind of basing that off of how many people I've talked to over the years that do the amiibo thing. It's not most Nintendo fans. It's not. It's not like it may feel that way because all the podcasters do the amiibo thing, but for every one of us, there's 100 other people, and I know a lot of folks over the years. They're like, yeah, I don't care about that. I've gotten that a bunch. I know like a lot of kids. They have no amiibo. They have like one amiibo.
Yeah.
Like it was a real craze. It was a real thing for a bit. It's really kind of died off.
It died
Now
off.
It's more of a hardcore collector's type thing.
I have very select amiibo, and that's pretty much it. And just like, okay, I'm gonna stop here. I'm not a huge collector. I just don't want it to collect dust all the time on a space. I just
Yeah.
I only do the Zelda ones and my favorites.
yeah.
And I got the Zelda ones for the shelf, but I have the chips. I like having all the amiibo, but
The
I don't
chips
need
are great.
I don't need a box of statues to like I like the chips. I think they're a convenient option. I've got 2 little cases. They all fit in 2 little cases, and I have every amiibo. So if something happens, I also like that they all match. I kind of like that they're all uniform. Versus like all these different figures and stuff. You ever seen like a box of amiibos? You're like, what the hell am I supposed to do with all them? It's a lot. You can't travel with them. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're taking your Switch with you, it's not like you can throw 15 amiibo, It's kind of a mess to carry. Navi says, I hope the 2D Metroid comes out. That was a part of M. Rogers'
a big rumor.
report. Yeah. She said that it's done. It's coming. She said it's coming this year.
Like very soon.
That's very exciting.
2 months.
Boy,
I'm
that's
ready
very
for
exciting.
it.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I hope it's actually a new one and not just a
Yeah.
I would take a remake of a port of Samus Returns.
I would too. But all the rumors that we've heard about this thing is
Yeah.
it's a new game.
New. Yeah, I hope it is.
That'd be really dope.
I'm excited. Coach Hulk, let's see here. How many Miitopia games will be released without Donnie telling Mo? Hopefully we will never have another Miitopia game released ever,
Please.
Coach. Ever. That's what we're going for there. How many won't even take the amiibo out of the package? I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, there's folks that, like to keep them in the boxes and hang them that way, and then there's folks that take them out and display them.
I knew one that bought 2 amiibo at a time and did both.
I free all my amiibo. Free the amiibo.
All mine are free.
Let them out.
Me too.
But I would say they keep more value, but that's not true. I sold Corn. She's got plenty of value, so I gotta box her up tomorrow. She's out. So that's it. That's all we got. We got no more questions. I think that's
One
good.
more refresh.
One more refresh. Anything?
I don't see it getting announced tomorrow. They don't really do Friday announcements.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. Can't be Monday. It's Memorial Day. They would never. Tuesday.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tuesday.
Yeah, don't do it then. It'll be exciting. Maybe it will be tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not upset if it's not. I think that's always the point to remember, right? Like I can get really hyped and excited, but at the same time, like you realize nobody knows. There's very few people at Nintendo that actually know, so you can't be excited when it doesn't happen. But I do want it to happen, and hopefully I don't miss my chance because I'm going on vacation. That'll be the only bummer. So
We'll call you.
gotta call me, guys. Gotta call me. All right, that's going to do it for us this week here in the Nintendo Shack. Thanks for hanging out with us as we are all on Switch Watch 2021 as we wait for this new system and E3 coming. You guys have the con next week. I wish you the very best of luck. I can't wait to listen to your guys' show, and then I can't wait to rejoin you the week after. I was expecting Nintendo to announce their E3 date. That's the other thing that we're missing.
Yeah, I need to know.
It's going to be Tuesday at noon. Like, I'm almost sure of it. It's like,
Honey,
just give it to me.
it's going to be Tuesday at noon. Will you just announce it already?
I'm
I guess they could go
hang on
this. 5 or
Just
6
rip
or
the
something.
Band-Aid. Yes, please be 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean it could, but if they're, I guess the question really is like, how much are they participating in this virtual E3 thing?
Right.
Right. If they're not really, then yeah, they can do it whenever they want. But if they are, like, I would expect them to hold their typical standard time, Tuesday at noon.
I just want them to say it.
Same. I was expecting that would happen. Like I would be like, we would do the show. I'd be like, here's the date, and I'll see you then. Right. Like,
Break
that'd
my
be the-
heart now, so I don't have to keep waiting for it.
But you guys will have. I imagine you guys will know by the time you record next week. Like that's got to.
Well, I
you
think
have
so
to.
because
it has
they
to,
said
yeah.
the E3 app will be out for people to download and register by the end of May, and that's
Today.
yeah.
Basically today. Like we have like
So-
a couple
and
more
we
days,
don't
right?
have that yet, so like that has to be soon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Switch
There's
Pro.
only a few more days left.
Here's the trailer. Find out more about our games at E3 Tuesday at noon. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Hulk just sent a picture on Discord on Nintendo Shack. Miitopia. He got the Miitopia game. Why?
He's a special guy. You know?
Okay.
He makes
I mean,
fun
good
of
for
Link
you.
because he can't talk. He defends Miitopia like
Well,
If
he,
you
if
wanna
he
win-
got Metopia, he has to make me's of the three of us and put us in some kind of funny situation.
Uh-oh, I'm scared of what might happen to me in that situation.
Guys, okay. Rebecca fans, anyone who's a amiibo designer or me designer, do it.
Oh, yeah. You said
Do it.
amiibo designer and I got mine.
Sorry, me designer.
I've been trying to get a Travis Touchdown amiibo made for years. I've talked to all the amiibo creators. I can't find anybody to take this
I
commission.
don't think Gondicris does commissions,
She
but she's
doesn't.
really good at them.
I've asked her for years, actually. This is like 5 or 6 different times I've asked her, and but yeah, I can't find anybody to do it. Coach, Miitopia is fun. I make fun of it. It is fun. I had fun with the game when I played it. It's just not very valuable, and it's not very dense, and there's really nothing to it. It's like Miitopia should almost be like a free-to-play app. Like
It's a Street Pass game.
I honestly can't recommend anybody pay. Like, what's a good amount that you would recommend somebody pay?
$20.
See, that I feel like that's
Maximum.
high. I do.
Maximum.
Like at $20, I'm like, that's a lot, man. It's like I value Miitopia less than Pokemon Quest.
You
Like
buy
I had way more fun playing Pokemon
you buy
Quest.
like nobody's golf.
I know.
For $9.99.
I know. See, and none of this is shaking my value appreciation for Miitopia. This is spot on analysis, Rebecca. $3.99 maybe, $5.99.
No.
They had that Kirby Battle Royale game that you could like free to play and put money into. That game was more fun than Miitopia for like more than 5 hours. Miitopia's got a great first 2 hours. It's real good. But, I mean, come on. It is what it is. I don't feel like I hope I'm not breaking anybody's hearts. Lord knows
No,
we do that enough
you're not
with
breaking hearts at all.
with Sonic and my Super Nintendo NES Online stuff. I mean, the RPG cave. Like, I'm just full heel over here. But, Miitopia. Ooh. Navi. Switch Plus will be the name.
I think that's what I mentioned, right?
Let's talk names. Rebecca,
Okay.
I love your
Super
tweet.
Switch.
Super Switch. And then we go
Super
Super Switch
Nintendo
64. I like your Swee.
Sweet.
That's the best. I would
That's
not
just
want to
not-
buy it more than if it was called the Swee.
No. I want the Super Nintendo Switch.
Super Nintendo Switch.
I want Switch Plus. Nintendo
I like
Switch
that.
Plus. Yeah.
I can see it like a little switch with like a little plus like right there on the
Yeah.
top corner. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
I like it. Switch XL. I mean,
It's
it is
not gonna be
bigger.
extra.
It is bigger.
It's not going to be bigger in terms of like form factor though,
No.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
Switch
I
up.
hope it's
Interesting.
thinner. Switch up.
I hope it's
Switch
thinner
up.
too.
It better be thinner.
Switch U, of course.
No, please.
Switch U 2.
the new Nintendo Switch.
The new Nintendo Switch.
Deluxe.
Deluxe.
I like Switch Pro. I know they're not going to do it, but I like it. I like Switch Pro. It's got a nice ring to it. I think that's got a nice ring to it. But Super Switch is great. I've heard that one for a few years now, and that's
It'll be perfect.
I mean, that's really Nintendo way of doing
Sounds
it.
like a
As is,
superhero.
the new Nintendo Switch thing. That's more Nintendo than the rest of them. All right. That's going to do it for us. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. I'm officially on Nintendo vacation. Ping me whenever we get these systems. I'm so excited. I hope you guys have all the amazing news that you could ever want next week, right? Bayonetta 3 and everything. That'll be great. And then I can come back and you guys can
We're
tell
going
me
to
all
have
about it.
all the news.
You can tell me all about it. I'm totally
Yeah.
fine with that. No FOMO here.
Okay.
That
Good.
said, good night, Kooplings.
Bye-bye.